Don't fall over. Yo, excuse me. I thought I had this set up, honey. Give me just a second. Don't you do it. Um, maybe do it like that and that. And you still don't want to. Okay, fine. There we go. There we go. All right. Yeah, I gotta get a better setup. I know, but okay. I just finished curling my hair. Okay, and y'all welcome as you come on in. This hopefully won't be too long. I'm just fixing to throw on some, about to throw on some makeup, and I just step out for a little bit and see what I can see. I'm gonna go ahead and curl my lashes. I'm still drinking my coffee, and I think I'm awake now. Okay, I slept in this morning. So, but while I'm putting on my makeup, I want to talk about something uh, that has to do with people mistaking kindness for weakness. I'm just going to go ahead and use, the available terms that describe situations. Now, I want to say this out the gate, and I have shared this with you guys. I am a woman, a mature woman in my 50s. Okay. I've never been in a fight. It technically, if you want to say I have been, I was like uh, elementary school age. And that's when some little boy, we were playing outside across the street from the church. And this little boy was picking with my little sister. And of course, I wouldn't do that today if I had to do it all over again. Hello. But he was picking with my little sister, and I beat him up. Okay, so that's the only and the thing about it is the little boy just apparently his mother taught him. Hello, as y'all come in, not or parents taught him not to hit little girls, because I beat him up in his own in his own front yard about messing with my little sister. Like I said, I would not do that today. Had I known what I know today, that whole account would read differently in the Akashic record. But now, nonetheless, we're gonna move on. All right. So I'm prefacing these things before I say what I'm about to say. I'm a woman in my 50s. I just told you about the only fight I've ever been in my life in elementary school and what that was about. Okay? I honor, I have loyalty, respect, and I expect it back. And I think I may have to recurl this or whatever. I don't know. But and I expect respect back. I'm a woman in my 50s. I'm not fixing to be out here fighting, physically fighting, or anything like that. And that has not been presented to me. So, okay, so we're just talking, but I'm prefacing some things. I take my calcium. This is not sponsored. I take my calcium tablets. I'm on my middle age stuff. Okay, if you want to talk about that, say that. So I'm trying to get you to understand my mindset. Having said all that, I have come to find out, and I'm not talking about strangers, I'm talking about people that supposedly know you, being disrespectful, disloyal. Did you know people get into it? Okay, we're individuals. People get into it have disagreements, whatever, and then they can come back together if there is mutual underlying respect. Okay? Yes, I am. You said, am I talking? Yes, I'm talking. I hope y'all can hear me. If you can't, I'll go back through it, and if it's no volume, honey, I'm just gonna delete it. But there has to be mutual respect, and you have to respect people you're in relationship with. You can honor and respect each other's accomplishments and things like that, but it still comes down, any relationship still comes down to two human beings or two individuals, or however many individuals, and one, two individuals, whatever. So if there is a lack of respect, that relationship is not going to work, not for the long term. Not if you're talking about healthy people who don't accept anything. Y'all, did I not bring my brushes down here? Did I just look at them but didn't bring them? I probably did. You know. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to go ahead and put on my foundation. I mean, I guess I did look at them and didn't bring them. Okay, let me go ahead and say what I'm going to say, because I don't want this to be too long and I want to get out and enjoy some of the sunshine. But relationships have to have mutual respect. No, I'm not from Africa, darling. I'm African American. Okay? Uh, if you look at, there's science and proof, things that are being discovered, that there was a man that was from North Carolina, one of my species, that whose DNA predates Africa and predates what's called Africans today, or Africans today. My species is the oldest species. You don't get any more ancient than what my people are. That's why the world follows us and wants to do our dances. When the world wants to learn how to sing a certain way, they pulling up Whitney Houston, they pulling up people, with certain, they want to imitate Usher and Chris Brown. Those are my species. And it's only right because children imitate their parents. I'm in science, not wishful thinking. Okay? Hope that answered your question, and I'm not being ugly or smart. I'm just saying. Uh, yeah. Dang it. Y'all, come up here with me to get my my makeup brushes. I hope this doesn't hurt y'all's balance. Y'all, come up here with me to get my makeup brushes. I can't believe I looked right at them. I got both my makeup bags. Looked right at the brushes, honey, and didn't bring them down. Y'all, come up here. Sure did. Tell you 50 something. And my memory's good. I just be doing stuff. Okay. So we gotta brush the brushes. Y'all, thank you for rocking with me, because I just be doing stuff. Okay, let me get back over in here. Hello, hello. Thank you for stopping by. Um, Let me get to my point. People mistake kindness for weakness, and people mistake somebody who has control over their spirit, who no longer, who has come to a place where uh, you can't just push buttons and get certain reactions. Uh, there are some people that don't like that. And you'll be surprised by who those people are. People you would think would be happy that you have boundaries and healthy boundaries, and you want them to have healthy boundaries too and respect their boundaries. Okay? And that's how you have a good relationship. But when people want to be in relationship with you, but they want to be able to push your buttons, they want to perceive themselves as somehow better than you, or and want people to think that, or just have an underlying current of that disposition of the mind and heart, even if they never say it. Those people are the ones that when you start growing uh, as a person, those are the ones you're going to have problems out of. They're going to say things like you've changed. What else do they say? Let me know if you need some help. And like I said, some of these people in professions, they don't need to be in. They need to be on the couch, not behind the desk, because they got squirrels juggling knives, some of them. Okay? Uh, and these are the people that you have to say, okay, if I'm giving you an opportunity, I'm telling you, I don't like this. Don't do this. And saying it calmly, talking to each other. But if somebody comes back when you've stated a boundary and say, hey, let's not do this, or, it makes me feel a certain way when you do that, and then they want to start going off and talking about, you, it's always something, and this, whatever it is that people say, that's somebody that liked you in a certain position, thought a certain thing about you, thought they were above you. That's really squirrels juggling knives and in the head, uh, and they don't like it when you behave like a human being with boundaries. Okay, and there's one thing, people talk about signs. What sign are you, and all this, and I have come to find out that signs, the zodiac signs, do seem to have a significant impact on people's personalities, okay, and how they handle things. Okay, now my sign, excuse me, people seem to think is very nurturing, which it is, um, loyal, soft, kind, emotional, and that's true. But it's best to just let it be that, because once you keep going past my sign's boundaries, that light switch that y'all think stays on nurturing, um, loyal, and all of that, honey, that switch flips off. Not just flickers, that shit turns off completely. And some people don't seem to understand that. And you have to kind of help them. Now, I'm not talking about putting hands on anybody. Like I said, we do. Well, that's not what we're doing. Calcium for the bones. Take your calcium. Okay? But it's a lot of stuff. I'm watching people and how they seem to perceive things, even when it comes to religion. Now, I'm not one for religion. I don't believe that the Bible has anything to do with religion. I do think it's been added to and taken away from, and that's why it speaks of certain things. Um, I think if we had the text in its original state, we would find that's just simply a people's history book. Okay? So But even when it comes to religion and the things that we have been handed and taught, particularly in Christianity, um, I don't believe has anything to do with a real God. If there be such, because I know some people don't believe in God or a higher power. Um, I do. I don't necessarily think it's a big body of spirit. I don't necessarily believe it's just one big being or one being. Um, but yeah, I do believe that there is a higher power, and I don't believe, based on what I'm reading, that doesn't seem to have been altered. I don't believe that higher power is a. I think it's a tempered being or beings that has boundaries and control of itself. We can see that by the story of the Garden of Eden, which I think has been altered because I don't even think the fall is really about what it's been made to be about. But we can clearly see that that being has boundaries. Okay? And I just think that what has been handed to us as religion um, is some kind of made up deity, some kind of pansy made up deity with bubbles blowing out its ass. And it seems like a lot of people seem to think, well, if you're a Christian, then you'll let me do this or you'll look over this and this treatment of you. No. From this is why you hear me say, I don't know where people are. And even if I'm posting something, a lot of people, I don't know where they are. And I'm at this point, I'm really not trying to find out. At one time I was. Now I just, be over there. Okay. That's why a lot of times I just kind of stay to myself. I love people, but I don't, it's not that I think I'm big and bad or anything. I like honesty and straightforwardness. Now, everything about me is not everybody's business, and same vice versa. But it is what it is. Okay? And like I said, people will say you've changed when that's not the case. I have firm boundaries and they're going to stay there. Okay? And everybody should have boundaries. But I'm the same person that I was. I've grown now, done some emotional and mental growing as I'm supposed to, but I'm the same person who I'm told as a baby when I started talking, and they said I started talking before I started walking. They said I was good as a baby, telling people to get out of my face, and you working on my nerves. But as a baby, you can only say so much. But they said my word was get, and I was saying it to people. And now I really understand why. People say you've changed because if you don't let them walk all over you. I have not changed. I'm still that same person that told y'all to get when I was a baby. And then when I was in the church as a toddler, my mother played the piano. Okay, so I would be in the crowd, from what I'm told, going to different people because I was a friendly toddler and baby and all of that. So from what I'm told, but it was one communion Sunday. I'm giving you my personality and letting you know I have not changed. I'm still me, but I'm me grown. It was one communion Sunday. In the Baptist church, they don't believe in giving toddlers or people under the age of 12 in the black church that have not officially accepted Jesus as Savior. You can't take communion. I knew they were serving Welch's grape juice, and I knew Welch's grape juice tasted good as a toddler. Honey, can I tell you, I didn't get the Welch's grape juice during service, but I dang sure got it after service because Deacon, and I could call his name, but I won't, and he and his wife just, I remember going to, it's been years ago, as a grown up, going to Family and Friends Day, and ended up sitting right behind them, Deacon and his wife, the one that took me down to the altar after service when I was a toddler to get the juice. Because, honey, I clown. It's like, y'all gonna give me my juice, uh, and my communion. Yes, it tastes good, but I want my communion too. Because half y'all heifers, see, I have gifts. Half y'all heifers that are over 12 and grown, y'all shouldn't have took it. Okay, y'all shouldn't have took the communion. Okay, really shouldn't have. Don't try to deny me mine. Okay, so I'm the same person. So understand, it just looks a little different when you're grown. So understand that boundaries are there for a reason. They're there for us to help us respect each other and have a good and productive relationship. Okay, no is a complete sentence. Uh, yes, I believe in a higher power, but I don't believe in pansy ass and bitch assness. Yes, I said that. And trying to play me for a fool, and trying to make me wear your scarlet letter A and all of this old stuff, that's not gonna work. And people can say I'm being mean, I'm being this, that, and the other, whatever. And I just want to make the announcement to everybody that needs to know. Yes, my sign is a caring sign, a loving sign. That's all of that is there. But honey, that switch can flip off. And it happens, over time, because people are people. You have to give people room to mess up because we're all human. But when you showing me over a period of time, now if you're not of my bloodline, you don't get as much time. And really, I shouldn't even be saying that, because now I'm not even giving bloodline that much time, but I have honor. There's a portion of scripture that says that your neighbor should dwell safely by you. You shouldn't be up to stuff and trying to harm your neighbor. Well, if you think that scripture says that about your neighbor, what do you think about people you share blood and DNA with? And when I find out, because I take honor seriously, when I find out that you don't, and I'm watching and taking notes, and I may not say anything, but I'm over that period of time, I'm watching and I'm taking notes. And when I finish doing what I got to do, I'm going to work my week, I'm going to pay my bills, I'm going to the gym, and I sit down with a cup of sweet tea and review your file. And it's turning up that I review your FILE, and it's computing that you are FOUL. That switch flips, darling. Deal with it. This has been Lolita, or Yvette with Yvette's Turn. My name's Lolita Yvette. We shall talk later. I hope this helped. I'm going to finish my makeup.